Good evening, UPBOptionMillionaires.com. Monday, August 18, 2014, and stock futures are right at their highs here. We closed higher today. After the bell, we continued higher. You can see we had the drop almost just before lunchtime. On Friday was bought and then some. We actually closed the market pretty much flat on the session on Friday, in spite of there was an incredible sell-off. But again, on a Friday during the summer in August, you're going to see exaggerated moves. And it was just a perfect buy the dip opportunity. I was buying TLT puts. Worked out today as bonds were sold, stocks rallied, and we can see that continued theme. I talked about it's kind of like bonds and stocks rally at the same time. Everyone's kind of baffled. They're like, oh, how can this happen? The bond market's usually right, so something's got to give. Well, it turns out the bond market's going to sell off and stocks are just going to keep rallying. Feel bad for the bears. Yeah, they were so excited back on August 7th, Thursday, and into Friday morning. Stock futures down 100 points. Just on top of the pullback from all-time record highs. And they were all, you can go back to their Twitter accounts and their blogs and their posts and everything. Just, oh, this is it. You know, price per, I told you this was coming. This is it. Yeah, and look where we are now. And if you follow my videos, you look at the chart. I put up a nice chart on StockTwits on that Thursday, and I put big green bars. Big green bars. You couldn't miss them. And I said, this too shall pass, meaning this trend line, the Abenomics trend line, is acting as support. And each time we got oversold, and I talked about this in my video, we've bounced significantly. And look what's happened. Look what's happened. So I'm just going to give myself a little round of applause at some point. At some point, yeah. Anyway, let's just follow the trend here. And if you look, I think what's also going to help fuel the market is what we saw a little bit of today with the bond market pulling back. Bonds and stocks have been rallying at the same time. TLT has been rallying along with the SPY, and everyone's like, oh, well, this doesn't make any sense. How can they both rally at the same time? Well, when they don't, stocks just keep going higher and the bond market pulls back. One of the reasons I was saying the bond market's rallying along with stocks is because the yields on bonds over in Europe are lower. And we had some you know, as much as I'm looking at this market, I look at the trend and I'm like, oh, this market's great. I understand the underlying fuel behind this market is over the long term is ultimately going to screw us all. But, you know, I'd rather not lose all my money fighting it, like some people. And so if you look overseas, you have some of the countries that were ready to go belly up. Their government debt is yielding less than here in the U.S. How, you know, it doesn't make sense in a normal marketplace, but when you have every central bank globally printing money and the ECB backstopping everything, that's why they're putting their money over here, because interest rates, you're getting a little bit more yield, which is pretty, you know, Italy, we're about to go bankrupt, and here we are, their yields on their debt are less than ours. So why would you go, you know, buy Italian bonds when you can buy them over here? We have an unlimited credit card, and there's no way we're going to default, right? So anyway, I'm looking for TLT pulled back significantly. You'd see it rallied mid-session on Friday on the fears over there in Ukraine and Russia. We're pulled back, and I'm looking for a continuation down to the 115 level. I think it's going to be short-term support. I've been to 117.50 puts. Let's bring up U.S. Steel, because I brought this up at StockTwits, gosh, back at the start of the year. Beautiful chart. I mean, this is what I like about when you have a chart that just looks pretty. You just draw a nice little trend line. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, and once the U.S. Steel had broken this trend line resistance, and you can look at the post I put up at a blog as well. I said it was possibly going to be the trade of 2014. I think U.S. Steel is going to continue to the upside. I think it's going to hit to 40, and if you look back, I mean, we could, and one thing maybe the bears can kind of grasp their paws onto right now. You see this move we're starting to see to the upside. It kind of looks similar back, and now if this is the case, we could be years away from all-time record highs and a big market pullback or crash, because U.S. Steel started to rally, and then it went exponential heading into the financial crisis. So we could be at the cusp of the start of a nice rally here. I would not be surprised if you see U.S. Steel over 70 bucks by the end of the year, which would be more than a double. I mean, it'd be a significant rally here. And I see a similar chart, and I put it up at the blog at OptionMillionaires.com. Sears Holdings. Sears Holdings reports earnings this week. It's a high-risk trade. It could just completely collapse, fall to pieces. But if it doesn't, it breaks above this trend line on position for the calls and for upside. I think you could see a significant move to the upside. I mean, 50 bucks, while would be a $15 move to the upside, which is, gosh, bit 17, about a 43% move. Really isn't much on a long-term chart here. There's a 10-year monthly, and I think it can go significantly to the upside. I mean, just look at it. To me, this is like, you know, a bear inside a cave, and you're just dangling a steak, you know, dripping. I'm sorry, your vegans out there maybe dangling, you know, a roasted eggplant, or, you know, a zucchini that has been baked lightly with a little, you know, hummus on the side, something like that, and just seeing an explosive move to the upside for Sears Holdings. So we have earnings reports for Sears Thursday before the bell, and so that'll probably that's going to tell us our short-term direction. Are we going to collapse? It's possible. I would think support here would be about the $27 level, which case I will be losing pretty much all of my investment on my calls, and maybe we'll try to see if we hold this level, and back in the fall we can break through. But it's going to happen, and US Steel took a little longer than I expected, but it did. And you see it was confined in this channel, just like Sears Holdings. And once it broke through, it was like, yeah, like a caged animal. And looks like that's going to continue to the upside. QQQ closed at record levels, and you can see there's a broadening descending wedge here that I talked about many months ago. This was the tech wreck of 2014 back in April. Look at the move we've had every single month since then. Beautiful. In spite of the pullback, I mean, look at these candles, just outstanding. Apple, people were just ripping on me when I was talking about Apple last summer. You had all of the pundits say, oh, Apple, the growth is done, blah, blah. I said, we're going to hit new record levels. And yeah, and there we go. Hello. High record levels. Same with Google. Google, the chart looks really nice. I was talking about this last week in my video, cup and handle. And this is a 10-year monthly. We pull in, it looks a little nicer when we get a little closer. Get a little, I like saying that song. Anyway, beautiful cup and handle here. And you can see it. We're just starting up. We're starting. We're going to head over $600 level. Record levels for Google. Also Starbucks. I talked about this at the lows last week. There it is. Look at this. And as you can look at my video, I dragged this line all the way across. Beautiful support there at that level. The 76.25 level, I believe. And look at how we moved off of it. Oh, look at that. Oh, yes. Consolidating here, and we're going to make our way up to the $80 level for Starbucks. Amazon as well. We talked about this. Amazon has looked really good. Pulled back from its highs today. Closed just about flat, but it's consolidating here. The next test will be up at this level. We can break through that. We'll close this gap here, the earnings gap down from the 360 level. That's Amazon. And how about Boeing? I wrote a little piece 2 weeks ago about Boeing at the lows. I said, fly away. It was Thursday, and I said, this support line, and you look at this beautiful line here that I drew before the stock started to rally. Look at that support. Look at that support line. It's working, and I figured at least short term, we're going to get up to that 130 level, and then we're going to have to contest with resistance. So you draw a trend line here. We're going to get resistance. So about 132 level, but look at this. We're at the start of a beautiful rally for Boeing. Fuel, which I'm looking. I'm not in the calls yet. I was in the calls last week. I was able to get out for a small loss. But if you look at fuel, looks like it's bottomed here at the $15 level. As long as we hold this level, I think fuel is heading for a sharp rally to the upside. How about Facebook? We're looking at new record levels. Look at Facebook. That's the definition of ramping camp today. Spike up and just hello, hi-ho, suck the premiums out of your options, la 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 la. And let's look from a long-term perspective on Facebook. Oh, we are in the clear. And we're consolidating here, definitely over 80 bucks. It's coming. Hello, Facebook, $80. Home Depot earnings before the bell tomorrow. You would like to think as well. This chart, we're consolidating here. Bing! That's what it looks like from a chart perspective. We'll see what happens. We had good numbers out for the housing market today. We can also look at, I'll just bring up one more chart, then I'm going to call it an evening. I'm going to be back on tomorrow. Disney, new record all-time highs before pulling back. Look at Disney, this trend, and I drew this trend line who knows how long ago. Working out beautiful is the Abenomics low, and now just, I mean, cruise control. It's like somebody just set it for $100 and it's like, all right, you've got 3 years to get there. Take your time. You know, don't trip, don't fall. Just take your time. There's no rush. No rush. Plenty of time to get there. And you look today, we hit record levels, pulled back, but I think Disney, there it is. Oh, Look at that spike up, pull back. Where it's Disney's $100. I mean, it's got written all over it. Space Mountain. All right, UPB here. That's enough. Just jabbermouth tonight. No jokes. Sorry about that. Yeah, save them for tomorrow. All right, UPB here. OptionMillionaires.com. Monday evening, August 18, 2014. The market looks great until it doesn't, right? But until it doesn't, stay with the trend. Goodbye.